Well, this is not a good sight to see. Well, here we go, guys, by a large vote. Our tire selection for the Falcarino is raised white letters. And I have to say, I like them. You know, they look good. They kind of got that moonshinery run to them. You know, it's got that, oh, what was that? White lightning kind of look. That was an LTD or whatever, but kind of got that look. It's just got the 6-cylinder in it, but nobody knows. So yeah, I like it. And then if I get tired of them, I can always flip them around. And I got the black walls. The white walls, oh, the white walls. Those were double the price of the raised white letters. I guess, you know, because the classic guys want that, you know. It's crazy. So, no. Was not in Flat Broke Garage's budget. Would have been cool. I'm with you guys that wanted the white walls, but whew. So here we go. She shined up. She's got I don't know, new tires, new brakes, you know, lots of stuff. We're gonna go for some drives, do some shakedown runs. We have some fuel issues. We'll work those out. Antifreeze kind of leakage issues. We're waking the bugs up. It's going to have some bugs, and we're now waking them up. So let's get her out on the road and shake it down, do some drives, maybe go into town, you know, get some more videos and see what kind of stuff leaks out of it, because there's going to be something. So let's go for a drive. Well, we're out here on our test drive, and I'll tell you what, the car runs pretty good. Temperature's good. I mean, we're up rolling at 45. Kind of wanders all over the place. I mean, it's not horrible, but the shocks are completely clapped out. The sway bar bushings are just a memory of what they once were. But it doesn't pull, it doesn't drag, it's quiet. This is like the closest thing I've had to driving an electric car. I mean, all you hear is wind noise and tires. This 6-cylinder is really quiet. Oh, I spoke too soon. Wait. No. We just shut off. We're very quiet now. We're going with the wind. Let me see if how far we can roll this thing in here. I'm going to try and roll it down this long hill and at least get to my street. Well, nobody behind me. I think we're gonna make it to the street. Oh, we made it. All right, hang on, let me get out. So on the way back from my test drive, she ran out of fuel, quit running, and I coasted. I don't know if you can see it way back there, all the way down to the turn on my street. So the fat guy got to walk home and get his shop truck and take a look here at what's going on. Now I know the fuel tank's full of junk. I want to show you something. I have never seen. Oh, now it's okay. It collapsed the fuel filter. It's full of garbage, but it had the fuel filter sucked solid. So either I got plugged fuel line, or the new gas cap I put on isn't vented and just created a vacuum and vapor locked. But kind of interesting. I'm just going to put on the old boat tank and try and drive her home. But I got to blow this tank out and blow these lines out again. I mean, she's got some achy in her. So let's see what we can do. Boat tank in place. I just hope this thing, when it sucked up or went dry, I hope it didn't suck all the junk out of that filter and into the car. But we'll see. Running on fresh gas helps her out. Okay. Guess all it needs is real gas. Well, there's the first, I think, gallon and a half. It's a little rusty. Doesn't have the turpentine smell, but like I said, I dumped 4 gallons of 100% gas in there, which I really wish I didn't because I just wasted it. But yeah, and there's I think a can of Berryman's in here and stuff. So it doesn't have turpentine smell. It's just got swamp in it, mud and rust, and I think there's more ants. I'm sure they're in there. But we'll dump this out environmentally safely and fill it up again. Well, I got the gas tank pulled out of the old Falcarino, and it sounds like there's stuff living in there. So let's pour it out and see what kind of magical things have bred or taken up residency in this fuel tank. Well, I got the ring off for the sending unit. Let's pull this thing out. I'm guessing it's bad. It's just horrible. So, well, there's your first clue. She's had some moisture in her. Oh, there's your second clue right there. Somebody's been in this tank and is sending in it. Look at, hang on, let's get it out. So, this thing's supposed to have a sock over it. They just put a piece of fuel line over it. It's all decayed. Yeah, sure, it's just fine inside there. Have to take a look, but I'm glad I ordered a new sending unit. I think this one's, I think it's done. All right. Well, without a doubt, we got a little flaking, little debris. This is just what poured out in the gas. I mean, it's just a scale, I think, from all the condensation forming inside the empty tank, and then it rusting up and scaling off and creating this wonderful rusty gravel stuff that I gotta get rinsed out of here. Or somebody said put vinegar in it, muriatic acid, throw a chain in there, bang it around. We're gonna try something. I want to try and get it vacuumed out first, see if I can get any of that out. All right, so we got the tank out. We got her flushed out, got her vacuumed out. Then I threw a chain in it and just smashed the chain around inside and kind of broke loose the rest of the rust. I rebuilt it with some paint, so it looks new. The other side actually never got any, I don't think the other side ever got any water in the trunk. Because, look at that. I know I've had it in the other video, but boy, look at that. You can still, the stampings here in the tank. It's just a shame the tank got rusty inside, because it's mint, you know, outside. So we're going to throw a new sending unit in it. They're going to run 2 inline fuel filters with the 1 extra filter that goes into the carburetor. So that should do it. I'm not going to put a new fuel pump on it yet. I want to run it a while before I sacrifice a new fuel pump. The old fuel pump seems to be working, so, you know, we'll just let that one tick-tock away. Yeah, so we get it tossed in there, and Roy the dog approves. So before I put the tank back in, I'm going to vacuum out little crumbs that are in here, kind of scrape it up. But I just want to point out again how clean this car is, this unibody. I mean, I've never seen one this clean that just sat out in the field, you know. They usually rust, you know, way back in here. And Mustangs and Cougar, all these unibody cars. this thing is mint. Like I said, it does have, I noticed, Torino rust. The water comes down these channels here and will sit. So it does have a little rust here, but usually this whole piece is gone. In my Torino here, in this one, I had to replace the whole back corner. But, you know, she's got a little bit. But I mean, like I said, the other one was gone. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see something that's not a ball of rust. So we'll get her vacuumed out and get the tank dropped in, get her hooked back up, and you know, we'll get some fuel going to this. And all I need is my radiator, get that back in, and I think we're roadworthy. So, well, even though I thought my fuel tank, which looks great, it's not. Put it in, and we start getting just, it like sweats gas. Like right up in here. So, I cleaned it out. No more fumes. It's bone dry. Put an old sending unit in, and we're going to use this red coat. This stuff works great. I worked in the construction field, heavy equipment, my whole life, over 30 years. And they used to use this stuff for coating hydraulic tanks, diesel tanks, rusty tanks. I mean, this stuff it's good. And I'm not endorsed or anything by them. I'm just telling you, this stuff it works. Not cheap, but it works. So we're going to dump it in and coat it and see, you know, how well 2 quarts will take me. It should be enough. So let's give her a shot. All right. So what I did is I got the tank out. I got the old sending unit put in. I guess you got to dump the 2 quarts in, and you tape it all off, and you just slosh it around and pour out the excess. So let me dump it in here. They say 1 quart will do 12-gallon tank. So this stuff stinks, guys. You want to do this outdoors. It smells bad. And that's how you know when it's done. When they say the solvent smell goes away, that's when you know it's done. I have used this before in smaller tractor tanks and stuff, and it works really good. I guess we'll see how it does on the 22-gallon Falcarino tank. All right, now I'm going to get it taped up, and I'm going to slosh it about. All right, well, I've got it all sloshed around. I'm going to try and pour the excess back in the cans. Hopefully there's some, because it'd be nice to have a little laying around. Or not. Wow. Whole 2 quarts stuck in there. Maybe it's a good thing. We'll see. Looks dry. Well, the gas tank ain't leaking. That's a serious plus. Those are the air lines from the air shocks they're shot. But no leaks. Let's get the radiator dialed in, and it's time for road trips. We'll see. Well, it's time to get this radiator out of here. As you can see, it has an issue. It's not bad. I mean, it looks ugly, but it's not pouring out, but it's dripping. So pull this radiator out of here and get it off to a shop, see if we can get it fixed. I mean, once again, I'm not about beautiful. As long as the radiator works, we should be able to isolate that repair. And the radiator should still be usable. This thing isn't a 429. It's just a little 6-cylinder. So great. Why does it always fall in the antifreeze? Why? Get the lower hose off, get her to a radiator shop. So I'm at my local auto parts store, and this isn't just any auto parts store. Check this out. They do radiators, they do starters, they do alternators. Independently owned. You just don't find a place like this anymore. I got the old radiator out here, and we're gonna bring it in. See my buddy Paul. So here you go. This is inside S&L. Zane.
Yes, sir.
And Paul.
Yes, sir.
Father and son.
Yep.
These guys do what nobody does.
Hello.
Check this out, guys. This is like a real shop. They rebuild radiators, like I said, starters, alternators. In the world of disposable, these guys are your go-to guys now. You know, it's just, you don't find this anymore. It's nice to have. And, you know, he's got a store here, a nice little store. It's not one of them big chains, and you might pay a little more, but you know, they got welding stuff, and you know, I like to support local. And you know what? You can't find these things anymore. Everybody's just Amazon new, Amazon new. I'm fixing the original because personally, the 50-year-old radiator is way better than anything off Amazon. So I guess the radiator is okay-ish. The core is really weak. You said it's full of
What looks like stop leak.
All right. But that's okay, so it should stop leaks. But our big problem is the drain.
It'll stop breathing.
Yeah, well, you know, the big problem is the drain for the radiator. There's like a bung that's supposed to be in there, and they just like permatex something in there. So he's gonna solder me in one. Hopefully, we'll see if it takes, and yeah, it doesn't leak. I don't know. It's junk, but you know, I am flat broke garage. You just got to make it work.
And all I'm doing here is just putting radiator flux on, getting it nice and clean.
Which is the first time it's really been cleaned in a long time.
Probably a long time. Probably since it was put together.
Yeah. The stop leak burn?
It can, I mean, as you can tell, it can kind of make a horrible smell when it's hot.
What is stop leak? Just like a bronze powder or something?
It's a lot of crap, actually.
Really?
It's a lot of different stuff, but it's
not a metal.
No, not really. Well, not all of them. There are some that could be like a silicate. And,
right.
Not silicate, but it's like a alloy of powder and blah, 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 blah. I sell one that I like a lot that almost looks like pepper.
Oh,
and
okay.
it works super great. Works in aluminum, works in copper brass. But it's the only one I suggest because it doesn't clog up the block.
Radiator's in. Did a good job. Doesn't leak. That is, the radiator doesn't leak, except for that. Well, this is not a good sight to see. One does not want to move his car after been working on, and behold, the green spot. Now, it turns out that was a freeze plug, because it had one of those rubber freeze plugs right there. But if you look, she's dry. As a matter of fact, they're all dry. We all know which freeze plug it is that went bad, don't we? It's the one on the back of the head, the big one. So now I could pull the head, maybe send the head out and have it done, or just a 6-cylinder. I could pull the engine, rotate it, put the freeze plug back in, and set it down. I don't know. What do you think? I think that might be quicker. Pull the engine. I know that sounds crazy, but you pull the head. You got a head gasket. You got it's a lot. Just pull the engine. We got a leak from back there. Freeze plug. There it is dry. It's not leaking. So, well, seeing how the leak isn't from the back of the head, it's the freeze plug on the back of the block. So, we're just, you know, just leaving that alone. We'll just let her drip. My double filter thing is working pretty good. Feels nice and clean, so you know, I mean, we just need to drive it more and get out and see what else happens. Well, I guess the best way to test everything is to hit the road and get some clocking on the old odometer. So let's go to town. Put some miles on it. Go to the auto parts store. You know, let's just go for a drive and really drive on it. Get it up to 60, 65. Get some highway miles on it. And I mean, it's the only way to test it. You know, make or break. Make or break, sink or swim. That's what we're going to do. Well, guys, we made it into town. It's a cool little town at the local Napa here. Had to get it warm, but just check out town here. This is the Napa store. Has been here forever, I guess since the 50s. Check out this old gas station, which is now a brewery company. I love when they save old buildings, especially old gas stations. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's still got the 2 bays on it and stuff. And they open the doors up, you know, and it's like a drinking area. So pretty cool. Yeah, there's a little copper hill here. Maybe I'll take you on a tour of town here. It's an old copper mining town. A lot of old history here. But my main point is the Falcarino made it. We drove, I don't know, I think it's 12, 15 miles here. And it worked flawlessly. So let's see if it gets me to a haircut and then gets me home. Well, guys, here we are, the historic Burra Burra copper mine. This is a copper mine back, I guess it started around the 1800s, and they closed it, I think, in the 60s. But it's beautiful out here. Lots of historic stuff. Great little copper mine museum. It's the old kettles they used to pour it with. That was a hoist house. That crane back there was for lifting stuff down into the well, or into the mine. Maintenance building. This is a steam room where the steam engines used to be to run the cables for the hoist house. Yeah, it's really cool. If you guys want to see some actual videos of like all the old equipment and stuff here, hit me up. Let me know in the comments below what you think. But we made it. We've been driving it. It's getting better. Every run is getting better. I just noticed when we got here, she's burping out a little juice, but you know, it's to be expected. So we're just keep going with it. We got a lot more things to do. I don't think I'm going to make it to St. Louis. We got that freeze plug leaking in the back of the block, and it's getting worse. So we're going to have to address that. Other than that, most everything else is good. The tick is still ticking. We tried all kinds of lotions and potions in there, but we may have to get drastic and, you know, get in it. So, but if you like, subscribe, share, please let me know. Put some comments down. I may park this for a while. I got to get going on my 71 Torino, the real car. I mean, this is nice, but I got a real Torino. So we're going to get going on that, get some videos up. And once again, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you on the next one.